Connor here for Exron Music. We've been graciously joined by Sultan Shepard and Osama. They're doing a set tonight at Elsewhere, and we have a few questions that we want to ask them. I'm a big fan of your music, and there's some questions I think both Exron and then some of your fans would love to know. So I guess we can just jump right in. So I kind of understand that you guys met at McGill, studying other disciplines, to say the least. How was the transition, going from studying, I believe one of you did mechanical engineering, business, to the music side of things?
It was, I did mechanical engineering.
Okay.
He did religious studies.
You did religious studies.
I think it was more, music was like a hobby during university. I was in rock bands during university, and then I took a year off after I graduated to just pursue my rock band. In the meantime, I took over getting into electronic music. So it was kind of like a right place at right time, random situation that worked out. So
And religious studies, that's also kind of different.
It's pretty different.
Yeah.
I mean, I started working with Osama when I was still in school, and I think our first record came out when I was in my third year of school. So, it was kind of like doing it on the side and seeing where it could go. And then when I finished, I worked part-time and then did music part-time. So
That's awesome.
it's kind of a gradual transition. But I think it was always kind of in the back of my mind, this is what I want to do, and hopefully I can just make it happen so I can get a real job.
No, that's great. Yeah, just doing a lot of things, figuring out what you like, and then specializing. That's definitely the move. I read that Ned sent a mixtape to maybe Osama at the beginning of the collaboration. How was it in the beginning when you guys were kind of figuring out each other's styles and then kind of piecing it together as one unit?
I think we always kind of, even from like the very first time we ever made music together, we had a very natural, kind of things that we both liked to do and did well. We were complementary of each other. So there wasn't really we didn't really have too much to figure out.
Seamless transition.
It was,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
That's great to hear. Also, kind of on digging into the music side a bit more. You guys used to, be a little bit more big room styled, I guess. You had these collaborations with these other massive big room artists, and now it's kind of gone the direction of more melodic, sometimes a little deeper house. What kind of made you guys decide to go that route stylistically?
Well, I think originally we started making music back in 2002, and we were kind of making deep progressive music back then. So I think from 2002 to 2008 we were kind of in that progressive role, and
Yeah.
we switched over into the big room world. And I think in 2019, just before the pandemic, we were kind of just bored and tired of playing the same music over and over again. And there was nothing that was really exciting for us. We weren't inspired by much. So we're like, we need to take a step back, take a break, and try to figure out where we really want to be and what we want to do for the next 10 years of our lives. And I think that's when we kind of just settled back into this sound, which felt like it was kind of returning to our roots.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And I guess if you guys had to kind of pick a track that you've been most proud of thus far, is there one that kind of comes to mind, or is that?
I don't know. It's weird. When we make the music.
Yeah. You don't think of it like that.
No, we get excited about different things for different reasons, and then when we put it out, other people kind of decide what is important to them.
Yeah.
So we don't really have any control over that.
But I think that's why we like doing albums, because
Yeah.
it's not one song, it's a full body of work, and I think that's what resonates.
Yeah, I think we're actually most proud of our albums because it feels really good to have that full kind of spectrum.
Yeah, that's great how you describe that. It seems like you really want the listener to have their own interpretations, give space for the listener. That's really great. I guess kind of jumping into the album, your newest album, Forever Now. How did you go about tackling this project, and kind of what were some of your ideas you wanted to convey that kind of contrasted with your previous albums? I understand that this was kind of coming out of that COVID period, so maybe some of that influence as well.
I mean, I think it was sort of a some way it was a continuation of the album that we made a couple years ago called Something Everything, and it was different in the sense that Something Everything was made in the pandemic, and we were really home with nowhere to go, and so there's like a moodiness and a real vibe to that album that I think this album feels more expansive. We were starting to travel a lot, playing shows again, and so it's a similar sound, but there's definitely like a lighter, kind of more fluid feeling on it. I mean, that's the way it feels to us. I don't know, other people can think what they want, but
it was written over like a 2-year period, so it was compiled a while back, and then I just got back into the song and finished it out.
That makes sense. That's awesome to hear. And you're talking about, doing a lot of shows. Is there like a venue that kind of sticks out? Like, have you done a favorite show that really that you resonate with,
on this tour or in general?
Just in general, like together?
with Red Rocks.
Red Rocks. I've heard. Yeah, every DJ loves that.
Yeah. It was pretty. We did 2 nights with Nene, and it was really special. It was also October 21, so it was like, the people were still kind of coming back for the first time, and so it was pretty nice.
The energy was really palpable. That's awesome. I still need to make my way there. I haven't been down there. Yeah.
It's a lot bigger than it looks in the pictures. Yeah.
It looks pretty big already.
Yeah, it's even bigger.
Yeah. That's awesome. So I guess what's next? Now that this most recent album is out, are you kind of focused on touring, or experimenting with new sounds, or diving into a new project?
Well, a lot of touring.
Just touring. Yeah.
But we're always working on new music. So we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. We don't want to say too much more about it, but there's going to be remixes from this album coming out soon. And yeah, cool music we're working on. So.
Great. Very excited to hear it. And so, there's a lot of artists out right now who, maybe haven't decided to become an artist yet. I mean, you guys were once in that position yourselves, and as artists right now, you could potentially, impact a lot of people, influence them. And I guess what's something that you'd like to say to them, artists that maybe haven't realized their path yet, or haven't realized their passion?
We always get at this. So.
I don't know. I mean, I think first of all, like, you have to do it because you really love doing it.
You gotta be authentic.
Yeah, you have to be yourself, but your motivation has to be strong. Like, if it's just something you want to do because, I don't know, you don't want to do something else, or because you want to be famous, or you want to hang out with people, that kind of burns off after a while. But if you're really passionate about it and you want to do this more than anything else, then I would definitely say just keep going, because the more that you make music, you get better every time you make a new song. And so if you just keep going, eventually, if you put the hours in, you'll start to see that, hey, this sounds better. You start to get somewhere, but you gotta kind of stick with it. And there were so many times where both of us were just like, I don't know. We thought maybe we were just done, we'd want to stop, but we just kept going because there wasn't really anything else that we wanted to do. We really wanted to do this. And then in that sense, then you should just try to, find out who you are artistically. Not be afraid to try new things. It's good at the beginning to have influences and try to make stuff like that, but eventually you have to kind of find your own sound. So.
Okay, gotcha. Makes sense. Take risks.
Yeah.
Find your own way.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Don't be afraid to ask other people who are doing it too.
Yeah.
Get advice from them.
Yeah.
They can help in either way.
And also, if you feel really not great while you're doing it, that's normal. There's a lot of highs and lows, and so it's like, you gotta think. Some people they look at other people's careers and they think, oh, it just went so well for them. But if you talk to any artist, it's like such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So it's like that. You gotta be prepared for that, and just know that that's gonna happen. That you're gonna have things where you're like, oh my god, it's amazing, and then something is gonna happen, and you're like, oh no. And that's just how it goes.
Just gotta be adaptable and keep
Forever,
persevering.
forever. Like even when things are going well, there's something that doesn't work out. So
And also try to think 5 years ahead.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when you're in the moment, you're not really thinking like that. But if you have a plan towards that, I think it really puts things into perspective and it makes it natural.
Yeah, that's great. That's for a lot of things in life too, just beyond music, right? Like that's great. Well, I really appreciate all this insight.